Okay, I'm just gonna wait for people to trickle in again, and then I'll give you my final thoughts here. Um, sorry about that. I think the Fox News tab was actually killing my CPU. Um, okay, I'm just gonna let everybody kind of refresh, and I'll give you my final thoughts here. Um, I honestly think the Fox News tab was like doing some Bitcoin fucking thing or something. Like my CPU was just spiking big time. Um, after opening up that Fox tab. Um, yeah, no, Davey, it's what I asked for. I asked for the garbage, please. Um, no. So Asmongold, what was Asmongold's conclusion? We need to get rid of democracy, right? Because they see democratic socialism as a better alternative to their MAGA fascism. They see it as a threat to their fucking fascism. Asmongold, right? And that's his conclusion. We got to get rid of it. We just got to get rid of it. We can't have people making their own choices, because you got people um, like Mamdani, who are incredibly skilled, who are fucking incredibly skilled. And look, that's that's amazing. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that that's his conclusion um, to the whole situation. Sorry, Smash. Let me go full screen here for you. Um, but no, this is a huge win. This is a huge win for democratic socialists, for the left. This Donald Trump, like I said, just undermined Mamdani's, or sorry, just undermined his own party's narrative against socialism as they define it, communism. And of course, if you know what you're if you know anything, there's a huge difference between democratic socialism and communism. Um, what do we see from the fascistic right? They're raising the volume on, we got to end democracy. We have to end elections. That tells me that they see Mamdani as a massive threat to their party, to their fascism, which is a huge win for us. That's a massive win. Um, this is huge. This is big. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the response, like, everyone's gotten their marching orders from social media with the right wing, right? What kind of narrative that they're going to circle the wagons around. Um, but this further damages the right wing effort to scaremonger and instill a certain amount of fear into people, that we can't try this, we can't go in this direction. um yeah, Davey, yeah, indeed. And as you know, and I would say Asmongold is more Nick Fuentes than he is Lindsey Graham. And yeah, and that's what was his conclusion. What was Asmongold's conclusion? We gotta stop having elections, or else these guys are going to win. We got to, he saw Donald Trump kiss the ring. He saw Donald Trump being manipulated, and he's like, we can't have this. We can't have this. We have to stop this at all costs. Amazing, amazing. No, this is really good. This is really good. Donald Trump just completely undermined all the fear mongering. Um, and Asmongold saying, his conclusion being that we need to end democracy, and then he leaves and changes the subject, tells me everything. Defeat, defeat, massive dub for Zoran Mamdani, massive dub. Okay. Um, because like, if Asmongold felt like, oh, this was a big loss for Mamdani, that's what he'd be talking about. That's what he'd be doubling down on. Wow, wow. Well, sorry for all the breaks and stuff. Sorry about the stream collapsing there. Fox News killing my computer. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, that's my conclusion here, is that um, the anti-democratic MAGA fascists, of course, are doubling down. But most importantly, they see it as a threat. They see the conciliatory attitude, the positivity that Donald Trump was showing Mamdani as a threat to their ideology, to their political movement, their anti-democratic, anti-American political movement. They see it as a threat, and that's great news. It's from who he spoke last. No, he's a terrorist. Yeah, I mean, Davey, there's some truth to that. There's definitely some truth to that. And now, like I said, does this mean we won't see ICE invade New York? Does this mean we won't see Donald Trump threaten, to remove federal funds from New York? No, I think we're gonna still see that, but um, I think the damage has been done here, though, and it's not it's not like this is the end of MAGA or anything, but it's yet another chink in the armor. It's yet another sign of weakness that these people, because they look to Trump, right, as the thought leader, and now they're like, wait a minute, Daddy, I thought communism bad, I thought brown people bad, I thought all the rich people are going to move out of New York. I thought, wait a minute, Daddy, I thought you said this was all going to be bad. I don't know what to believe anymore. That helps us. That helps us big time on the left. Donald Trump doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing. People say he's a master. Like I said, he's an idiot savant when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? And sometimes it works really well for him. A lot of the time, it works really well for him. In this case, Donald Trump being Donald Trump completely fucked up the right wing attempt to fearmonger and denigrate any kind of left alternative to their MAGA movement. Um, this is big. This is big. I mean, because it's very similar to Bernie, right? Um, do not be surprised to see Joe Rogan coming out and talking positively about Mamdani. Um, I predict Joe Rogan is gonna say some positive things about Mamdani. I think PBD they're probably gonna just do some hackneyed Paul Bet Davison, for those who don't know who PBD is. I think they're going to do a hackneyed communism bad, be afraid of communism. Obviously, we've seen the extreme right, like Asmongold, and we're probably going to see Nick Fuentes call Donald Trump a cuck. They're probably going to say he was cucked by Mamdani, that it's further evidence that they need to go harder to the right, that we need more fascism. I think that's what we're going to see from that faction. Um, and look at this, Fox News over here shaking hands with a brown Democratic socialist, um, talking about moving to New York. I mean, it's just such a big win. It's such a big win for us on the left. Um, like I said before, not because it's going to neuter Donald Trump from attacking New York. It's a big win for the left because it completely undermines this fear mongering about socialism and leftism in general. God, he's good. Mamdani is the fucking master. Um, anybody in the chat with any final thoughts before I let you go? I it honestly, I just wanted to say about Asmongold. I think he's an un-American piece of filth that should be investigated for sedition. That should be investigated for treason. I don't think he would be guilty, but I would like an investigation in Asmongold's connections to any foreign governments. I would like to confirm that he does not have any connections to China or Russia because they are actively trying to undermine our country. Asmongold is a traitor to the Union. I think he's a piece of human filth, and his calls to end democracy make me physically ill, make me sick to my stomach. Um, those are my thoughts on Asmongold. There, I think he's a pathetic piece of trash, and him calling for the end of democracy disgusts me, makes me ashamed. Okay, I can't ban this person because I'm not even logged in. I'm not even going to bother. Um, his conclusion being that we need to end democracy says it all. I mean, and then he gives up and then he changes topics. I'm sorry, I know that sounds bad, but we have to, and we can't allow we can't allow the American people to make a democratic choice that isn't fascist. We can't allow that. Mamdani speaking outside the White House. I mean, we know what Mamdani's going to say. Onushka, Mamdani is not going to surprise us with anything. Um, so I mean, I don't even need to cut to that. We know exactly how it's going to go. And if the reporters are going to ask him, do you feel like you won? Do you feel like you've this is a victory over Donald Trump? He's not going to say, "Oh, I won, big win. This is awesome." He's not going to gloat. Mamdani is not going to gloat. He's gonna every question asked to him. He's going to pivot back to New York. He's going to pivot back to affordability. Um, but I just wanted to double down on that Asmongold saying we need to end democracy when he sees a brown person succeeding, when he sees a brown person doing well in politics. That's Asmongold's conclusion, is that we have to end the American experiment of democracy in this country. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Vance Asmon 28. Yeah, those two belong to each other. I could see that. What's this? I'm just gonna click on this real quick.
Like they're going to try to bring Mamdani out, I think.
Okay, so this is agenda-free TV. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch this then. But yeah, Clutch Cargo. Yeah, thank you for that quote from Churchill there. Um, but I mean, that says everything about this fascistic movement, right? About these Nick Fuentes, these Asmongold's, these the rest of these right-wing Christian nationalists. They don't believe in America. They don't believe in the Constitution. They don't believe in the Bill of Rights. Okay, they believe in a theocracy. What they want is Iran. Okay, what they want is Saudi Arabia. What they want is China. What they want is Russia. And we have to ask ourselves, is this what we want in America? Okay, left, right, socialist, conservative. Do we want to see the end of democracy? Do we want to just become another Russia or another China? Do we want to throw away all the beautiful things that make us unique and make us special and most importantly make us strong? Okay, because multiculturalism makes us strong, democracy makes us strong, the Constitution makes us strong. All right, the Bill of Rights makes us strong. Okay, and these fucking weak cockroaches like Fuentes and Asmongold, they want to undermine that. They want to destroy that. And ultimately, what do they want? What do they really want? They want to fuck kids. That's what they really want. Okay, that's what Nick Fuentes wants. And I don't know how much Asmongold has talked about lowering the age of consent, but I would not be surprised one iota if Asmongold would support legislation for the government to mandate 16-year-old girlfriends for people like Asmongold. Exactly, Splenvania. It's nihilism. It's nihilism, and this I am the exact opposite. Was it anthema? How do you say that properly? I am the antithesis of Asmongold, of Nick Fuentes. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in democracy. I believe in multiculturalism. I believe in the poem that sits at the base of the Statue of Liberty. And if what do we have right now? We have a pedophile in charge, and all the pedophiles in the country support him. Anthema. Thank you, Smash. But it just disgusts me to see him just casually throw out like that's some kind of insight, like that's some kind of brilliant insight. I'm just absolutely shocked, and like I would not be surprised if Asmongold would agree with Nick Fuentes that we need to lower the age of consent. Um, you never know though; he might be just a sexless incel, that just prefers masturbation over everything else. That wouldn't surprise me one bit about Asmongold. Um, but the fact that look, I don't think anybody should be banned for saying that they don't believe in democracy, because I believe in free speech. Unlike Asmongold, I believe in free speech. and I don't think you should be banned. Um, but I do think if you are living in America and you espouse anti-American views, um, I, I think it does depend. But when are we going to start talking about sedition? When are we going to start talking about treason? Okay, and what I want to know is, are there any connections to foreign governments? You know, and I think with the case with Asmongold, I don't think there is. I think he's just an idiot who who thinks he's smart. I think he's a classic case of Dunning Kruger. But I want to make sure, like I want to make sure with Sagar and Janetti as well. All right, I want to make sure with the Hill operation, right? Are you guys taking and by the way, while we're doing the Hill, let's do TYT as well. Okay, where's the money coming from? Because that's where I draw the line. You should not be allowed to spread anti-American propaganda, and then taking money from a foreign government and then spreading anti-American propaganda in this country. I think that's going way too fucking far. Look, you're not taking money from a foreign government, but you don't believe in America. That's free speech. Um, yeah, no, I have to be very careful because I believe in free speech. I don't think people should just be arrested for saying things I disagree with. But hopefully you would agree that we should draw the line at people taking money from a foreign government and then espousing anti-American views in our country, spreading anti-American propaganda in our country, while taking money from a foreign government. But I believe in free speech. If you wanna say I don't believe in the Constitution, I don't believe in democracy, I want a theocracy. I believe in lowering the age of consent because I want to have sex with children. Like you want to let people know that that's what you believe. You should have the right to say that. I just want to make sure that you're not taking money from Russia or China to undermine our nation. Okay, I just want to confirm that you're just an idiot with a loud mouth and a tiny brain. That's all. That's all. Um, yeah, this stupid femboy person, you can't even, I can't even see what they're saying. Like I have them banned on Restream, so I can't even see what they're saying. So I'm just strictly ignoring. I'll ban them later. Um, Man, that was something. That was something else. All right, I got about 15 more minutes. Let's see
Let's
here.
just take a look at some more of this meeting that happened.
Okay, he's just gonna go back to the meeting that we already watched. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, when it comes to politics, when it comes to propaganda, when it comes to anti-American sentiment or anti-constitutional or anti-democratic sentiment, I think yeah, no. If you wanna engage in that kind of discussion publicly, you want to put a camera in front of your face and say end democracy. I want to confirm that you are not cashing checks from Russia and China. And like I said, I don't think Asmongold is. I think he's just a fucking moron. I think he's a toxic, likely pedophilic moron, like the rest of them. I know Nick Fuentes is a pedophile. I've heard Nick Fuentes say he wants to lower the age of consent. He wants to mandate, government mandated girlfriends. I assume he believes in no fault divorce, where a woman is not allowed to leave their husband unless they have the husband's permission. Right. So I know Nick Fuentes believes in slavery, basically for women, for young women, for girls. Right. Sex slavery. I know that's what Nick Fuentes believes. I don't think I've heard Asmongold talk about that, but I honestly would not be surprised because that's what this is all about. That's what this is really all about. It's about not just the kids, right? But just it's about being at the top of the hierarchy because you're white, because you were born into white privilege, right? And um, and lording over, having outside groups and inside groups, and then of course people like Asmongold, they think they're going to be part of the inside group. But yeah, all right. I think that's all I got for you today, folks. Like I said, any final thoughts in the chat? Anybody with some final comments or final questions? If not, I'll let you go, and we'll do a big stream tomorrow. How will the meeting affect the Republican Civil War? Um, Thank you, Anushka. So, Clutch Cargo, I think we're going to see, like we saw with Asmongold and Nick Fuentes, they're going to double down on their anti-democratic stance. They're going to say, this is a perfect example of how dangerous things are. That if we don't make it illegal to be left, if we don't make leftism illegal, this is what's going to happen. They're going to take over. Yeah, exactly. Splin and Vania. So I think this is going to hurt. I think this is going to further divide the MAGA right from the extreme MAGA fascists from the um, authoritarian MAGA. You could say maybe they're not. Maybe they're not technically fascistic, right? They still want to like George Bush style GOP style, right? Um, but I think this is going to further divide them. And as we've seen with Asmongold, what was his conclusion, right? We gotta kill democracy, right? Because this is we if we don't stop this now, if we don't make leftism illegal right now, um, then we're in danger. Because this is too good. They see that, and that's great news. That's great news. They see Mamdani and hopefully soon all democratic socialism as an existential threat to their fascist movement. You know, thank you everybody for the kudos. Thank you, appreciate that. Um, maybe Trailhead, maybe maybe South Park will talk about this. I don't know if they will. I don't know. They're they're not as plugged in politically as I would hope. Yeah, this is a very interesting time in American politics, but I think what Donald Trump has done, he's done more damage to the internal Republican Civil War. Because what they wanted was, Donald Trump versus Zelensky, Donald Trump versus the South African leader, and they didn't get that at all. They didn't get that at all. And then seeing Asmongold's reaction, that tells me everything. That they're double down, triple down, quadruple down. That's our only choice. Well, Davey, the reason why he has an audience is that because the audience see themselves in Asmongold. That there's a massive millions, tens of millions. We talk about male loneliness epidemic. Asmongold is the king of the incels. Um, Asmongold represents these individuals. We're talking about basement dwelling, living with mama, got to protect my identity, got to protect my race, but they never leave the house. They never leave the fucking house. Um, that's his audience. That's who is attracted to Asmongold. They see themselves in Asmongold. Um, wow, Davey, I couldn't disagree with you more on both of those fronts. I mean, is Nick Fuentes charismatic? No. I think once again, it's very similar to Asmongold, where Nick Fuentes, the people that are following Nick Fuentes, including you, Davey, they see themselves in Nick Fuentes. Um, he's an ugly, you know, 10 pounds, wet and wearing boots, weak ass pussy, and his voice and his entire presentation couldn't be less attractive. Charismatic? No, he's anti-charismatic. Good looking? He looks ugly as shit to me. Um, but the people that like him, including you, Davey, see themselves in that fascist. And it's the same thing with Asmongold. Um, Here's the good news, though. Um, they're lazy. They're pedophilic. They're quick to anger. They're uninformed. They're ignorant. The people that follow Nick Fuentes, the people that follow Asmongold, and they can be defeated. No, Davey. I know I won't change your mind because you're a Nick Fuentes super fan, even though you say you only watch 1 hour a week. But no, I totally fucking disagree with you. I'm the realest motherfucker on here. Okay, I'm the realest motherfucker. If there's a left winger that is rubbing me the wrong way, or I have something to criticize, I do. I criticize them. I'm not Hassan. I don't have special fucking carve outs for people. Um, you know that. You fucking know that. Don't try to pull that bullshit. Pretty good looking. Nick Fuentes is a pile of fucking trash. Just because he throws on a fucking suit, combs his hair before he hits start stream. 90 pounds, wet and wearing boots, a little skinny ass bitch. That's who Nick Fuentes is. And look, if you're in the Discord, I've been shitting on Hassan big time with his motherfucking pro China propaganda tour, and he's all crying to his audience. Oh, people don't like me anymore. All I did was come over here and do a bunch of propaganda for the authoritarian government in China. Oh, it's so based over here. Doing a fucking soy face over the little red book. The fact that Hassan didn't throw that fucking book in the trash immediately tells me everything about him. You hand me a little red book, I'm gonna fucking spit on the ground and stomp on it with my fucking feet. That's what I think about Mao. Um, Type in Hassan Little Red Book. Cunty. Just type in Hassan Little Red Book. That's what we're talking about. Okay. But no, just to go back to the earlier question. Oops, sorry. I got to go pick up my kid from daycare. But I think this is gonna further divide the right, and I think that's a good thing. Um, because what do we? It's about doubling down. It's about doubling and tripling down on fascism, on anti-democratic, anti-American fascism. This quote unquote America first couldn't be any is the exact opposite of America. What does America first represent? It represents anti-constitutionalism, anti-democracy, anti-free speech, anti-free choice, liberty, anti-liberty. That's what this quote unquote America First movement is. It's the logical conclusion to MAGA, which is full blown, unashamed, out in the open, Sieg Heiling fascism. That's the logical conclusion of MAGA, and that's exactly what Nick Fuentes. He's not clever. He's not clever. He's just following the path of right wing fascism, and he's just like, well, I don't, I got the balls to say it. He doesn't have any fucking balls. He had to mace a little 60-year-old lady knocking on his door. That's how much sack Nick Fuentes has. All right, I'll ban that piece of shit later. Literally, don't even. It's not even worth it. Okay. But no, thank you everybody in the chat. I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate that. And we will defeat fascism. We will defeat this America First movement. It couldn't be. It's like literally America Last. They want to make America weak. They want to kick out millions of people. They want to raise the taxes on everybody. They want to let the oligarchy run free, do whatever the fuck they want. Thank you, Cunty. Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow. Big stream, News Underground. Check it out on Saturday. Thank you so much. If anybody's followed, sorry I don't have any alerts or anything on the laptop. But yeah, this has been a good day. This has been a good day. I don't know about pop the champagne. I don't know about that good, but this has been a good day for leftism. This has been a good day for socialism. Um, and this has been a bad day for the fascistic, quote unquote, America First, more like America Last movement. Okay. I don't know about that borderline. I know you guys like to engage with these fucking trolls. I know you guys like doing that, but I think they do more harm than good. You know. Anyway, anyway, folks, thank you once again. My name's Abandoned Nihilism. This has been a special edition of the News Underground. Oni-chan, 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 Bouncy Titties, Oni-chan. Make sure you come into the Discord so that I can start grooming you. Um, that's very important. I'm going to go ahead and start playing Minecraft off stream, and then a bunch of my 9-year-old fans can come play Minecraft with me. This is how I'm going to win. I'm gonna be a successful streamer now. We're going to do things correctly. Okay, folks. Uwu, Oni-chan, Uwu, Oni-chan. Thank you so much. This has been the News Underground.